feel like, you know, it's been a great ride, and it's time for it to end.
Ben, Michelle Goodbout from CBC. I was wondering, you know, obviously you're a recognized person in the football world in Canada. What about in your home country of the States? Do you get
Not
that
so
kind of
much.
recognition, and do you care?
No, it doesn't bother me. I kind of like it. You're kind of in a fishbowl here, and you go back and you know, don't get recognized back home, and it's nice to go back to reality and live a normal life for a few months each year. Now, more than ever, the last few years, because the CFL has been broadcasting more games in CFL games in the States, you know, I've already noticed, you know, people are more knowledgeable about the CFL. They come up and say, "Hey, saw you play a couple times this year." It's been nice.
Hi, Guillaume François, Radio Canada. At the end of the season, you said, you know, that at times you were frustrated with, you know, not playing time, but, you know, the way you were used. Was there any point during the season where you had, you know, regrets about coming back for 2010, and did that, you know, was that part of your decision for this year?
I don't know if I had regrets. I mean, it was a tough season, but every season is tough and has highs and lows, and there are moments of frustration, serious frustration every single year. And I particularly had some rough times. I mean, there were a couple games that I dropped a ball in consecutive games, and I went through a little funk mentally, psychologically, that I had never gone through before. Started questioning, you know, my ability, but looking back now, the lessons I learned from that and the process that it took to kind of get out of that funk, I'm convinced have just helped me, and will be a big help, you know, in a coaching career.
Ben, you made Point Claire your home when you were here. You swam at Lakeside Pool. Can you speak a bit about Point Claire and your memories of that city?
Sure. We lived all over the place. The first place we lived, we rented an apartment in St. Leonard back in 1998, and we lived on Nuns Island for like 6 years. We decided to move out to the West Island as our kids got older, and we loved the West Island. And particularly Point Claire, the pool kind of was a saving grace for our kids. They went every single day, and I think that is maybe one of the neatest things that happens in Montreal, in those community pools, mostly in the West Island. But that is where we really, you know, met a ton of lifelong friends, and really became an important part of you know, this whole 13-year experience. I think that might be when my wife finally said, "Hey, I'm not ready for this to end. Let's go back for another one after a few of those summers in Point Claire." And she, by the way, is sad that this is happening today. So I think I've used her in the past as kind of the bad cop and the good cop, bad cop. And that's worked well. But the last few years, she's been the one that has said, "Let's go back. We need to go back. I'm not ready for this to end." So I owe her a debt of gratitude, and so grateful for her patience and support.
Ben, throughout your playing career, you've presented yourself to the media as being uncomfortable with accolades, but now that your career has come to an end, are you comfortable with the notion of embracing terms like what Jim called you as an icon in this league, when people call you the greatest receiver in CFL history?
I'm not comfortable with it. I don't necessarily believe it, but and it's a little awkward to know that I can't go out there and try to prove him right anymore. That's an odd sensation for me, because whenever I heard those things in the past, it just, you know, fueled my desire to go get to work and to earn that those compliments. But I don't don't know. I'll probably be able to enjoy it in 5 or 10 years from now, when we have a Grey Cup reunion.
Ben, sorry, every athlete knows that this day is coming. It's inevitable. You have been funny today, and you have been emotional. Obviously, is this the way you thought it would play itself out? I mean, just how do you feel right now that you know this is it?
A little disappointed the opening joke didn't go over a little better. I have not replayed this in my mind at all. And I was 5 minutes before this, I walked down the hall, I was still trying to jot some notes down. But I have known it's coming, and I guess I've just avoided the thought of trying to prepare for it. But I can't tell you how much it means to me to see, teammates here taking time out of their day to share this moment with me, and my life has been so blessed because of the relationships that football has given me. And I wasn't emotional. I've known it's going to happen for a long time, and thought I'm just going to get in, get out, get this thing done. And I was sitting at the airport yesterday, and I thought, well, I better text some of my teammates and let them know this was happening. So I wrote a text, and it was a pretty good text, and then I started clicking through my contacts to decide who to send it to. AC came up first, and then Anwar, and I'm sitting at the airport, and I'm just crying, thinking about these guys, and I felt like an idiot at the airport, tears coming down my cheeks. But about a minute later, got a text back from one of them. It said, "Who is this? I don't even have this number in my contact." A minute later, the same thing happened from Matthew Breeze, a little more diplomatic. He's like, "I lost my phone. I'm sorry, who is this?" And anyway, so it brought me back down to reality.
Then it'll be available for you'll do the people that are live first, and then it'll be available for individual interviews. Keep in mind his flight is leaving tonight, so I can keep it short. Thank you all for coming. Merci d'être venu.
I appreciate that.